Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're tackling a massive, often misunderstood topic that can literally change a veteran's life. We're looking at a hidden pathway to unlock the compensation you rightfully deserve, even when it feels like the system's rigid rules are totally working against you. Let's get right into it.
Have you ever felt left behind by a calculator? Seriously, what happens when the VA math just flat out fails you? It is an incredibly frustrating spot to be in. Imagine being severely disabled by your service-connected conditions, literally confined to your home day after day, yet falling just short of the VA's rigid rating thresholds. You know your daily reality. You live it every single day. But the paperwork and the percentages, well, they just say otherwise.
Okay, let's dive into this, because there are so many veterans out there who are stuck at home, struggling daily, only to be told the numbers just don't add up for extra help. That sentiment right there hits the nail on the head. It represents the exact physical and emotional struggle thousands face every single year. It's a completely defeating feeling. But today, we're going to shift our focus from that frustration to a real, actionable legal solution, a pathway you can use right now to claim the benefits your daily life demands. To put things into perspective, let's anchor the stakes right out of the gate with this number: $4,408.53. No joke, that is the 2026 monthly payout for a single veteran with no dependents receiving Special Monthly Compensation Level S, which is commonly known as SMC-S. This tax-free extra compensation is designed specifically for veterans facing severe hardships. And seeing that number, it proves exactly why exploring every alternative pathway to qualification is absolutely worth fighting for. It goes so far beyond standard VA disability rates. So here's the deal. There are actually two ways to get SMC-S, and understanding the difference between them is everything. On one side, we have the statutory rule. This is your rigid math equation. You need one single service-connected condition rated at 100%, plus an additional completely separate condition or conditions combining to at least 60%. Yep, the classic 100 plus 60 rule. But on the other side, we have the factual route. Moving into Section 1, defining substantially confined, separating myth from VA reality. Before we go any further into this factual pathway, we really have to debunk a widespread myth that stops so many veterans from even applying. A lot of people out there think that to be considered housebound by the VA, you've got to be completely, permanently bedridden, unable to move a single muscle. Well, that is simply false.
So the crucial point is understanding the actual legal definition. To be factually housebound, you must be, quote, substantially confined. What does that actually mean? It means your service-connected disabilities severely limit your ability to leave your home or immediate premises for extended periods. And importantly, it must be reasonably certain that this confinement will continue throughout your lifetime.
I want to reassure you right now, because this is a big one. Leaving your house occasionally does not ruin your claim. Look at these allowable exceptions. You are totally permitted to leave for essential medical appointments, necessary trips to the pharmacy, and occasional attendance at a place of worship. Taking these rare, necessary trips for your basic survival or your faith absolutely does not disqualify you from being considered factually housebound. Your daily reality remains one of substantial confinement.
Now, it is absolutely vital we don't confuse SMC-S Housebound with another benefit called SMC-L, or aid in attendance. Aid in attendance means you need another person's physical help for daily tasks. Things like bathing, feeding, or dressing yourself, or maybe you require constant supervision for safety. SMC-S Housebound is a totally different ballgame. Think of a veteran who can dress themselves and cook their own meals just fine, but a severe service-connected condition, like severe PTSD or a major mobility issue, simply prevents them from stepping off the front porch to engage with the outside world. That is exactly what housebound status aims to address. Which brings us to part 2, proving your factual status, building the evidence. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that this pathway relies almost exclusively on you and your medical evidence telling a compelling story to the VA. Since you aren't just sitting around waiting on their automatic calculator to hit that statutory 100 plus 60 mark, the burden of proof is really on painting a clear, undeniable picture of your daily reality. So, how do we actually pull this off? Let's walk through the exact actionable steps required to actively claim this benefit. Step 1. Identify if your mobility is genuinely restricted by service-connected conditions, and that can be physical or mental. Step 2. Get VA Form 212680. This is the examination for housebound status form, and you'll need your doctor to fill it out in detail. Step 3. Gather your medical and lay evidence. And finally, Step 4.
File the explicit claim. Please do not just sit back and hope the VA figures it out for you. And this brilliantly illustrates how gathering the right mix of professional medical documentation and personal lay statements creates an undeniable picture of your reality. You definitely need that VA Form 212680 filled out by your doctor, assessing your daily limitations. But do not stop there. Lay statements from caregivers, family members, or friends who literally witness your daily struggles and isolation are incredibly powerful. When you combine those personal statements with your formal medical treatment records, it creates a bulletproof picture that clearly establishes your factual housebound status. Listen, I cannot stress this enough. Don't wait for the VA. Yes, technically speaking, the VA is supposed to automatically infer your eligibility for SMC if the evidence in your file clearly supports it. But in practice, man, that gets missed all the time, especially when you're applying based on the factual route rather than that simple statutory math route we talked about earlier. Taking the proactive step to explicitly apply prevents missed opportunities and secures that back pay you're entitled to from the exact date your eligibility truly began.
So what does this all mean for you? Well, it brings us to our final question. Will you let math define your reality? If your service-connected disabilities substantially confine you to your home, you owe it to yourself to look beyond the basic percentage ratings. You have a factual reality, and there's a specific legal pathway perfectly designed to compensate you for it. So get out there, advocate for yourself, gather your evidence, and explicitly claim the SMC-S benefits that your daily life demands. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer, and keep fighting for the benefits you've earned.